as Tuanku reaches Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very Hadirin yang dimuliakan, mengumumkan keberangkatan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan Darul Khusus Penaung Yayasan CVSKL. Hadirin dipersilakan duduk. Menghadap Duli Yang Maha Mulia Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan Darul Khusus Tuanku Mukhris Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Munawir Penaung Yayasan CVSKL. Ampun Tuanku, beribu-ribu ampun, sembah patik mohon diampun. Patik bagi pihak majlis dengan penuh hormat dan takzimnya, merafak sembah, menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih di atas limpah perkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku, sudi berjemaah duri, berangkat ke majlis perasmian Yayasan CVSKL pada petang ini. Sesungguhnya keberangkatan Duli Tuanku amatlah besar ertinya kepada patik sekalian, dan sudah semestinya menambahkan lagi seri majlis ini. Ampun Tuanku. Patik mohon limpah perkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku untuk patik turut mengalu-alukan dev-dev kenamaan serta hadirin sekalian dan meneruskan atau cara di dalam bahasa Inggeris. Yang Amat Mulia, Tunku Besar Seri Menanti, Tunku Ali Ritaudin Ibni Tuanku Mukhris, yang berbahagia, Tan Sri Datuk Sri Rashpal Singh, Chairman of the CVSKL Foundation, Board of Trustees of CVSKL Foundation, the Board of Advisors, doctors and management of CVSKL, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon everybody. CVSKL Foundation is a charitable non-profit organization founded by prominent healthcare professionals and governed by a distinguished board of trustees who are industry leaders in various sectors. The foundation is dedicated to raising funds to support medical advancement and research in Malaysia while providing financial support and raising awareness on cardiovascular diseases. Your Royal Highness, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, to begin this afternoon's event, allow me to invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Rashpal Singh, Chairman of CVSKL Foundation, to deliver his welcome remarks.
His Royal Highness Yang di-Pertuan Besar of Negeri Sembilan Tuanku Muiz Ibni Tuanku Munawir, who is also the patron of CVSKL Foundation. Welcome Tuanku, and thank you for gracing today's momentous occasion with all of us here today on behalf of CVS Foundation. Yang Amat Mulia Tuanku Besar Siri Menanti Tuanku Ali Ridauddin bin Tuanku Muiz, the Board of Trustees of CVSKL Foundation, the Board of Advisors, Doctors, and Management of CVSKL Foundation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. Firstly, I'd like to thank and pay my gratitude and a very warm welcome for you all for being here today. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us, especially on a public holiday of Awal Muharram, for what is going to be a momentous occasion, not only for us in the foundation, but in the realm of healthcare in Malaysia. Ampun Tuanku, today's launch is really the culmination of hard work by the doctors of CVSKL and my fellow trustees. When the five of us started this, our goal was very clear. From the beginning, we wanted to dedicate this foundation to raise funds to support medical advancement and research in Malaysia, to provide financial support to the needy, and to raise awareness on cardiovascular diseases. As we all know, heart disease continues to be the leading cause of death in the country. Ischemic heart disease remains as the #1 killer for both males and females in Malaysia and account for 17% of the deaths in 2021. The work from home initiative proposed in various sectors during the MCO in 2020 and 2021 has led to an increasing number of people suffering from cardiovascular disease as well. The high utilization of public healthcare service has led to overcrowded facilities, resulting in longer wait. Initiatives such as medical research funding and reducing the burden in public hospitals can be looked into, and we are ready to work with the Ministry of Health to complement the government's hard work in improving the social well-being and health quality of fellow Malaysians. Ampun Tuanku, ladies and gentlemen. As a non-profit organization, sustainable funding is crucial for CVSKL Foundation to maintain its operations and continue contributing to society. I'm pleased to announce that we have obtained our tax exemption status. Many thanks to our Minister of Health, YB Khairi, for his endorsement and assistance. Thank also goes to the Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri for their swift action and assistance, especially in giving us exemption for the 2-year period that normally which is required. Thank you once again to LHDN. I'm also thrilled to announce that we have already received our first donation. These donors strongly believe in the value of CSR. They lead by example. They treat the heart with heart, and they are no other than CVSKL doctors themselves. Please give them a round of applause. Together, they have pledged 1 million ringgit, and I understand that they're going to pledge further. I believe Dr. Rosalie will elaborate further when he's addressing the audience after me. Ampun Tuanku, ladies and gentlemen, it is no doubt that Malaysians need more assistance for the needy, and we urge all private hospitals to extend a helping hand where they can. With today's launch, we hope that we have set an example, and we look forward to all your support for the better health of all Malaysians. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we look forward to working with the brilliant minds of CVSKL, led by the Chairman, Tan Sri Dr. Yaya Awang. I believe that with their team of excellent doctors and the support we hope to get from all of you, we can grow this together. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Ampun Tuanku beribu-ribu ampun. Sembah pate mohon di ampun. I would like to thank Tuanku again for attending today's launch. Menjunjung kasih Tuanku.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Sri Rashpal Singh, Chairman of CVSKL Foundation. And now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as alluded to by the Chairman, we'd like to invite Yang Berbahagia Dr. Rosli Muhammad Ali, who is representing the Board of Advisors and also a consultant cardiologist with CVSKL, to deliver his address.
His Royal Highness Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan, Tuanku Mukhris Ibn Almarhum Tuanku Munawir, the patron of CVSKL Foundation. Welcome, Tuanku. It is such an honor to have Tuanku with us today. Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Besar Sri Munawir, Tunku Ali Ritaudin, Ibni Tuanku Mukhris, Yang Amat Mulia, or rather the Board of Trustees of CVSKL Foundation, my fellow colleagues from CVSKL, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. Our CVSKL Chairman, Tan Sri Dr. Yahya, unfortunately, is unable to join us today, and he's still in Melbourne, but he sent his personal apologies, and I will be saying a few short words in his place. The idea of having a foundation is close to his heart. Tan Sri has always mooted this idea ever since we started our services in end of 2017. And at last, the CVS Foundation has come to fruition. Ampun Tuanku, when CVSKL obtained our license and first started its operations, we made a promise to the Ministry of Health that we will not just be another private hospital. We wanted to position ourselves as being one of the leading centers for all cardiovascular matters, but at the same time, we want to contribute back to society. Over the years, we did so by working together with different stakeholders in many, many ways. As an example, or a few examples, we are working together with CellCare, an initiative under Selangor government to treat their B40 patients. Patients who qualify for this scheme get subsidized cardiac and vascular treatment at no cost to the patients. So that's one of it. Secondly, at the height of COVID-19 pandemic, we will also work closely with the Ministry of Health to help lighten the patient load in the public hospitals by receiving and treating cardiac and vascular patients decanted from their hospitals. We did this at a very low cost to the Ministry of Health. Just last year in November, we organized our first charity day in conjunction with our 4th anniversary. 11 underprivileged patients were treated at zero cost to them. My colleagues agreed to waive off our doctor's charges. The management complemented this by waiving the hospital charges. We had key vendors who wholeheartedly supported this endeavor, and our identified charity partner, CIMB Foundation, stepped in to cover the cost of some of the medical and surgical supplies. Distinguished guests, as we continue to strengthen ourselves as a center of excellence for all cardiovascular conditions or disease, we hold ourselves accountable by measuring up to 4 pillars that mean a lot to us. Firstly, dedicating ourselves to training and mentoring the next generation of cardiologists and surgeons. A number of us are actually key opinion leaders in our own subspecialty. So mentorship is particularly important in navigating an advancement, a medical career. I think my colleagues here will agree with me that there is a sense of pride and enjoyment when we walk a fellow colleague or junior doctor through a procedure and sharing our experience with them. At CVSKL, our doors have always and will always remain open to those who are keen to observe and learn how we do things. Besides proctoring, we also involve in transmitting or beaming cases live for an interactive real-time discussion in conferences and meetings be it locally or overseas. And that's something very challenging and very interesting. Secondly, we are committed to research. Guided by our clinical research committee, our team of clinicians and research assistants have been actively involved in multiple research projects. We have produced and presented a number of scientific clinical papers, research, oral presentations, and posters exhibit. We also benchmark ourselves in common procedures against the national registries. And this is important because we need to improve efficiency, quality of care, patient safety, and patient satisfaction. So this is something that we feel is very important. Thirdly, aligning ourselves and engaging in value-driven collaborations by working with our key partners. A lot of what we do will not be possible without the support of our partners who work with us hand in hand to reduce the cost of their supplies and consumables. Most of them have been with us from the very beginning, and it is only fitting for them here to cross this milestone together. I want to take this opportunity to thank some of them who are also present here or are watching this online today. To Boston Scientific, who generously contributes approximately 1.1 million ringgit per year worth of devices. General Electric, Medtronic, B. Brown, LV Medica, Asahi, CIMB Foundation, Cellcare, and many, many more. We thank you sincerely for making a difference together with us. Thank you. In the same vein, I also want to thank my fellow colleagues and not forgetting our families. All of us took a great leap of faith by leaving our comfort zone in our previous place of practice to set up a brand new hospital. At that time, there were a lot of uncertainties. I speak for myself. Whether this endeavor could actually work out. But with the support, love, and trust from our families, all of us could focus on making this work. To all the staff of CVSKL who's watching this online, we cannot thank you enough for your commitment and dedication. We may not say it much, but we appreciate your hard work, and every single one of you plays a crucial role in our CVSKL success. Fourthly and lastly, and which is the main reason why we are all here today, we are keeping our promise to be a compassionate hospital and one that is always ready to work with the Ministry of Health and all the stakeholders that work with us. The establishment of CVSKL Foundation is the last piece of the puzzle that will truly set us apart from many other private hospitals and amplify CVSKL as a center of excellence for the treatment of cardiovascular disease. In 2021 alone, our CSR efforts totaled 4.15 million ringgit, and this benefited 545 patients. I have no doubt that with the foundation up and running, we can do so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be celebrating our 5th anniversary this year, and we are pleased to announce that our Charity Day will continue for the 2nd year running. We are particularly proud of this, and we would like to show you a video on the first Charity Day after my speech. On behalf of all of us in CVSKL, I'd like to congratulate the Foundation on your launch today. I wish to thank and name all the trustees one by one to appreciate their time and effort to join us in this noble cause. Tuanku Muhriz for being our patron. Thank you, sir. Tan Sri Rashpal Singh, the chairman of the board of trustees, Dato' Khadijah Abdullah, Dato' Azad Kamaluddin, Mr. Vun Seng Chuan, and Tan Sri Dr. Jamila Mahmud, who was my classmate in medical school. Thank you all, really. Tan Sri Rashpal has mentioned 2 announcements. I just want to again announce that with his help, particularly Dato' Khadijah, LDH at the end has approved our tax exemption as of the 1st of August 2022. I must say this is truly exceptional, because usually there's usually a 10-year period that you have to show that the foundation works before you can actually get an exemption. So getting it on the first day is exceptional. And thank you very much, Tan Sri, Dato' Khadijah. There is now, ladies and gentlemen, more reason for you to continue more generously. So, and we, of course, we will then, sort of put it on the 1st of August, 2022. Secondly, as been mentioned, CVSKL has started the ball rolling and has donated 1 million ringgit to start off the funds. I was actually wondering why my small paycheck was getting smaller over the last couple of months. But seriously, we believe that, and of course management of CVSKL, that this is an important event and we need to provide a healthy amount to kickstart its activities. Ladies and gentlemen, CVS tagline is the heart with heart. We are thrilled to take this forward with you with the same promise to serve and treat the heart with heart. Ampun Tuanku, beribu-ribu ampun, sebuah pati mohon diampun. I'd like to thank Tuanku once again for attending to this launch. Menjunjung kasih Tuanku. And thank you very much, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Rosli. And now, Your Royal Highness, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as alluded to by Datuk Rosli, we will take a look at the very first Charity Day, where 11 complimentary cardiovascular procedures were carried out. We take you to the screens for this video.
To celebrate our 4th year anniversary of CVSKL, I was very honored and lucky to contribute to do 2 cases as part of our CSR. The first case was a case with a complete heart block that required a pacemaker and was done successfully, thank God. The second case was a young man who was doing his PhD. Unfortunately, his insurance from the university could not cover the full cost of AF ablation. I was very lucky to be able to get some funding so that I was able to perform both the pacemaker implantation and catheter ablation of atrial fibrillation for these 2 patients.
Oh, this elderly gentleman is a bit unfortunate. He had a coronary bypass grafting surgery not too long ago, but unfortunately, one of his main grafts was not working. So it is too much of a risk for him to have a redo bypass operation. So we decided to do a very complex angioplasty to save his main artery.
So in the end, it was a beautiful result, and we also based it not just by angiogram, but by intravascular ultrasound.
This lady who was presented with renal failure, she's actually on hemodialysis for some time. So what I did for her was quite a simple procedure relatively, and it's called a permanent catheter. So with the permanent catheter in her chest, that will buy her some time for her to continue her dialysis.
So the patient that we just did just now, he is an ex-policeman. He has been having chest pains and his heart angiogram did show that he's got a blockage. But it was quite complex because it was completely blocked, but we managed successfully, myself and Dr. Rosli. We used a Stingray balloon, so it's a specialized dedicated balloon to try and re-enter the blockage. So we did that, alhamdulillah, successfully.
We came here for the hope of getting AV fistula up so that he can go on hemodialysis without his tubular catheter. So I did a right brachiocefalic fistula creation for him. It's under local anesthesia. So the main procedure is only joining the vein to the artery and then close it up. Take about 45 minutes to 1 hour job.
This patient had been complaining of a lot of chest pain and shortness of breath, and had been diagnosed with severe coronary artery disease. So we just completed the surgery. We did 4 bypass grafts, and everything went very, very well. I think he will have a very good result from it.
So I have been very lucky that I have been part of this CVSKL journey. We joined it together with the rest of the partners, and we started our operations in today, actually, November 27 on the year 2017, and I have not looked back ever since. I think I am very lucky to work with a bunch of partners who are very motivated, hardworking, very skillful, and also with the rest of the staff in CVSKL. They have always spurred us to do much better, and I would like to thank all of them for our success.
You know, Salvam, I didn't realize that it's been just 4 years, just 4 quick years, but wonderful years. one of the things we hope is that I was able to practice the way that I was practicing before, doing the procedures and treating patients that I love to do, and continuing the complex cases that we have been doing all the time. And the more important thing to me is also the friendship amongst new people, new friends, surgeons, vascular surgeons, nephrologists, radiologists, and all my other colleagues of cardiologists. And that has been a fantastic 4 years.
It's not only about doing work at the highest level, but doing work as a team. And this is a change in a private setup. And we can't do it only with doctors. Everyone from the nurses, the technicians, the radiographers, the cleaners, the ammas, and I salute all of them for making this a wonderful place to work.
It cannot be all smooth sailing, but at the end of it, the rewards actually outweigh the problems we had initially. We have very good staff here, we have very good doctors, we work together very well, but it has been a long journey.
We've got really good doctors and staff here, and we're doing very complex cases for the heart and for the vascular as well. So I think it's done really well for a new hospital that has just been born 4 years ago.
Well, I hope that CVSKL continues to grow and we become bigger and bigger. We have more and younger partners to carry on this legacy.
We want to take CVSKL to the cutting edge of cardiology. We want this private center to be a model that many Southeast Asian hospitals will do.
That we want to make it a preferred and cardiovascular center for the country.
Unique thing about CVSKL is that we get referrals from other hospitals with very complex, either the heart or vascular issues. And I hope that we can continue progressing, doing our best in our field, and hopefully that translates to patients feeling better and they have better and good outcomes.
But looking forward for the next 4 years that the service, especially in AV fistula and vascular, will be expanded.
When we started, obviously there were quite a few challenges, but we have, I think, built a great hospital and we have a great team here. And I'm very pleased that we are able to offer the full range of heart surgery and treatments for lung disease as well. So I look forward to building further with our future team of doctors.
And with that, Your Royal Highness, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the officiating ceremony. It is now my pleasure to invite the Chairman of CVSKL Foundation, Tan Sri Rajpal Singh, to accompany His Royal Highness, Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan, Tuanku Mukhris Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Munawir, and our other distinguished guests to the stage to complete the launch. Our launch gambit for this afternoon will be centered around water as the source of life. And to complete the ceremony, we would like to invite His Royal Highness, Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan Darul Khusus, the patron of the CVSKL Foundation, to complete the pouring of water into the CVSKL Foundation logo. Our other distinguished guests will also join in doing the same and flowing the water into the logo, which will then initiate the launch sequence. Your Royal Highness, distinguished guests, we may begin on the count of 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Your Royal Highness, distinguished guests. We'd like to invite everyone for a quick photograph at the now completed CVSKL Foundation logo. And with that, we'd like to invite the chairman of CVSKL Foundation, Tan Sri Rajpal Singh, to accompany His Royal Highness for the next part of the event, which will take place at the center stage. We'd like to invite His Royal Highness to now witness the handing over of the mock check for 1 million ringgit from CVSKL to the CVSKL Foundation. And on that note, I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia, Datuk Dr. Rosli Muhammad Ali, to kindly present the mock check to the chairman of the CVSKL Foundation, Yang Berbahagia, Tan Sri, Datuk Sri Rajpal Singh. Thank you, Dr. Rosli. In thanking His Royal Highness for joining us this evening, I would like to invite the chairman of the CVSKL Foundation to now present a memento of our sincere appreciation to His Royal Highness, the patron of the CVSKL Foundation, in the form of a tree of life. And once again, we would like to thank His Royal Highness Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan Darul Khusus. I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri to kindly accompany His Royal Highness and our other distinguished guests back to their seats. As we approach the end of the official ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce you to this next video, to the structure behind CVSKL Foundation. Congratulations to the CVSKL Foundation. Ampun tuanku, disembah maklumkan bahawa demikianlah sempurnanya majlis perasmian Yayasan CVSKL. Patik sekali lagi bagi pihak majlis dengan penuh hormat dan takzimnya merafak sembah menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih di atas limpah perkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia tuanku sudi mencemah Duli berangkat ke majlis pada petang ini, dan patik mohon perkenan Duli tuanku untuk mengakhirinya dan menjemput hadirin sekalian menjamu selera. Ampun tuanku, beribu-ribu ampun, sembah patik mohon diampun. Your Royal Highness, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now serve high tea. Please do sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves. And on behalf of the organizers, we'd like to once again thank His Royal Highness Duli Yang Maha Mulia Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan Darul Khusus Tuanku Mukhris Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Munawir, the patron of CVSKL Foundation, for joining us in this momentous ceremony. Bon appetit, selamat menjamu selera.